Hello, hello. It is a getting chillier Sunday night. I'm here in Medina, Ohio at the Forest of Screams. It's run by the same people who run the Seven Floors of Hell. I might have mentioned, I don't remember what I mentioned, some of the stuff before from last year or anything. So there might be some repetition if you go through that as well. This one's a neat one. It's only about 4 years old. And it has, they say hayride, but you are in a trailer, but with like benches and it's covered and all that. There's not really any hay. But you do go through what's ostensibly a hayride, and that's usually pretty neat. And people come up on the trailer with you or kind of worry you from the sides. And there's little skits and things like that. And then you have to kind of do this in this order. Then you get off of that and you kind of get spit on to the entrance to a forest walk, a haunted sort of forest walk, which is really neat. And there's some cool stuff in that. It kind of changes in some things as well. There's like a kind of, zombie apocalypse bit. And then there's Michael Myers' house thing. And I believe I've had a couple people reach out to me, including a Brad Cornell, who does the Michael Myers thing. I know last year, he did an amazing job, and I'm looking forward to seeing that this year. And then after that exit puts you into a haunted house, which is always pretty neat as well. And it's more inside, and it goes through different stuff. These are permanent structures, where in Seven Floors of Hell is in the Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds, and those had to be struck down and then put back up. Struck down at the end of the season, put back up in the beginning. So they can kind of do a little bit more here. And again, it's only like a few years old, and they got a nice little bonfire at one point, and kind of in the middle, and some cool opportunities. This is also kind of where there's a performer that we originally met at Seven Floors of Hell, who's I guess just pretty much over here this year, Mr. Ink, and he was great. We kind of became fans of him, basically. He did a great job making the atmosphere, which is, again, kind of what I'm all about with that. Having the atmosphere, did a great job staying in character. And then just over the years, we kind of, got to know him a little bit more. So hopefully I'll be seeing and saying hi to him this evening. Also like to shout out to Rodney Geffert, who I believe is a gentleman who runs both of these, or is kind of in some sort of charge for this, but kind of reaching out to me and being very kind with his words and very generous. And I genuinely appreciate that, and him, and everything they're trying to do in these places, because this is fun for me. And it's sort of like a training thing as well, in weird and wonderful ways. So I'm going to head out now and see how this goes. So this is just a little intro, and I will keep you up to date as I go. See you in a minute. It's funny, as I walk up, I realize I shouldn't have shaved my head down to the skin earlier this evening, because with this sort of stocking hat and the light that shines right in the camera, which is great, this sort of stocking hat over time kind of does this in a sort of comical Three Stooges sort of way as the night goes on, because it's just all smooth and moisturized and all that. So this would be fun. I'll be doing this the whole time, which would be double fun when I have to go get the mask on, which I'm about to do here in a minute. All right, here we are about to get started. Again, thank you to Mr. Ink, who I was just talking to for a bit, and Rodney Geffert and Forest of Screams are hooking me up. Got a free speed pass thing, and I'm actually really excited about that. So really super huge, big, major thank you. Really, really humbled and grateful for it. So yeah, we're about to go here, as you can see. Oh, no bonfire. I'm guessing that's just to kind of keep people from lingering in one area. So yeah, they got concessions, sort of a gift shop thing, and the fountain's new, which is kind of cool. I just dig this atmosphere. It's open, it's nice, it's cool. This is the traditional Midnight Syndicate song that is always played in every haunted house in Northern Ohio ever, for the entire time. So I'm going to get started, and looking forward to it, and talk to you soon. This is kind of traditional thing. I got Man in the Mask by Alice Cooper playing. Some previews and stuff. It's like a covered hut for the Hayride. It's kind of neat. It's a cool idea. Gotta love some Alice Cooper and some Friday the 13th stuff. It's good times. So here's the Hayride, basically. It's covered. It's got stairs. It's real safe. Benches and stuff like that, so you're not just camping on a floor or anything. It's pretty cool. Pretty neat. Okay, I'm on here, so you know. Plexiglass dividers on the thing as well, so they're setting up with that. And so yeah, they're really trying to take care of everything and keep people's stuff. Everyone's been really, you know, understanding about a lot of stuff, understanding if, you know, some people can't make it out and things like that. I guess last night they were super slammed, lines colliding all over the place and all that. So, you know, the Saturday, a week before Halloween, no surprise. So, I don't know if you can see it. I'll take a better picture of it here in a minute, but that's the sort of entrance. It's got a cool sort of squatting gargoyle thing on it and some stone stuff. It's really neat. It's a good way to sort of set the scene and you know, if, anytime there's sort of an arch, I automatically feel like, okay, now we're setting up for a special thing. You know, maybe that's just, you know, the study I've done of Japanese culture with like the Pori arches or something like that. But I see an arch, and that's really like a threshold to me and setting up something else. So it's kind of neat. Do you guys need me to scoot? Okay. I'm mobile. I'm by myself, so it's all good.
Do you think we could sit right there?
Absolutely, not a problem.
Awesome.
Swap in here. Cool. All right, so we're gonna take off here in a minute. We'll be right back. I can't see anything anyway.
This isn't my Uber.
We're getting to like my favorite bit here.
Oh no! Is that a cemetery? No. They're gonna whoop you. They're gonna be ghosts.
Okay, just did the Hayride. Had to take my glasses off because I've, you know, having to wear these all the time. I've washed these masks so much that I literally can't see out of my glasses because this part is so messed up and so worn down from my big nose and having to be pinched and worn all the time that all steam going right to glasses, all of it, just all of it. But anyway, the Hayride was really cool. It seemed a little longer, maybe? Definitely they changed stuff around. So if you have been here before and haven't been yet this year, they definitely did. My glass is still there? Okay. They definitely did change stuff around. They did a couple cool things that I liked. One of them is they actually kind of had a victim in a cage at one point to kind of, you know, get that little sympathy thing going on, which is actually one of the ideas I had for. It can't be a spoiler because I have no money at all to do anything, let alone this, but I have like a whole like haunted amusement park that's like a fake town sort of idea going on, and that was one of the things I had is like get some sympathy stuff in there, really kind of mess with people. So that they do have that in there, which was kind of neat. The lady who did the sort of coffin selling thing was actually really cool. And what I liked about it was like calmer, and again, more atmosphere, a little calmer. Wasn't just sort of like screaming at you in a twang the whole time, but really kind of set up the scene. That was neat. And there was one lady who came in through a couple parts, and one point it was like, do you know what kind of eggs my evil chicken lays? It's deviled eggs. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty funny. I like that. That was good. So yeah, a couple people doing a little bit more with atmosphere, and I understand like some people might be a little, I don't want to say stressed at it, but I mean, given everything that's going on, you know, the amount of people sort of working it aren't what before, but so far, if the Hayride is any indication, sorry, sucking in the air again. If the Hayride is any indication, they're doing a really good job with being able to manage, even while sort of having to be a little understaffed. So that's kind of cool. Like they're doing a really good job. It was fun. And again, a little rearranged, seemed a little bit longer than before. There's a couple parts I might put up in here too, or I guess would have already had been put up in there in terms of the timing of this. I took a couple parts, but there's two parts I really, really like. There's like a cemetery part and like a voodoo part. And I'm suckers for both of those things, and they have them. So, yay. All right, so the Hayride's first. Next up, Night Stalker Trail. There's the entrance there. We got this cool gargoyle thing going on. I'll try and get it to see if I can time it to where it's moving. It'll move periodically, which is neat. And away we go. So yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed that part. I'm really looking forward to the forest walk thing and talk at it afterwards. Okay, haunted trail, freaking great. Absolutely loved it. This has kind of been my favorite part of it because I do like a good haunted forest trail sort of thing, and it has so many of the sort of scenic bits that I really, really like. So, I mean, it's got like, it starts off in like a crypt, sort of vampire kind of crypt thing, which, again, vampire is also a thing I'm a big sucker for. That was great. And then it has some like really cool sort of kind of occulty things. There's one little set that's kind of got like this older mannequin, like this voodoo lady. Again, voodoo stuff is cool, and they got some parts that are sort of you walk through almost like a split log sort of fence, and I just like the kind of closeness in the wood of it, and the kind of the way it's set, designed, and everything like that is actually really neat. There's some stuff in here that just the design's really neat. Like in the Hayride, there's a bridge, like a covered bridge, but it's got weird angles. Like it's not just like a normal roof. Like the roof's offset on an angle. There's one wall that's not sort of flush. And it kind of gives you like a little creepy feeling. It's cool. And some of the sets they have for this are really cool too. Like there's like a whole cemetery part. There's this whole really neat part that's all sort of like jack-o'-lantern-y, almost like jack-o'-lantern creature people. But there's like jack-o'-lanterns in like the arches and the walls and on stuff like that. And there's like someone in like this like pumpkin monster sort of get up. Like, I like that. That's really super cool. On both this and the Hayride, the animatronic, they have a bunch of animatronics and stuff like that, and it's really, really neat. They're really well done, and You know, you kind of get a little bit more of a visceral kind of feeling with the ones on the walk because they're kind of shooting out at the trail at you and a little above on some of them. And one was like a witch on fire, and the other was like sort of vampire skeleton creature and stuff. So there's stuff like that I like. Anyway, just stuff I like. Actually, this one, so far, the sort of half-staff sort of thing, and a little bit has kind of played to its benefit. Like, I think they're adapting to it really well, because you really get, again, atmosphere. And there's some parts that, you know, the set and the setup is so good, and the way that they're using their people is so well, that it's really cool. You know, there's some that people know, like the timing of it. You know, they might ignore me because the group that came in after me that's got kids who caught up to me because they're tear-assing through, they'll, you know, kind of go after more. The whole zombie bit, again, just like the Hayride, there's been things here that has been updated and maneuvered and changed and stuff like that, which is good. I get a good shot of that porta potty. Yeah, I get a good shot of a porta potty there. That's what I need to do. So even though it's been 4 years, they're still changing, they're still updating, and I think they did a good job with that. I think the zombie bit actually benefited in general from not really having that many sort of actors in it, because you got that build-up of feeling of anxiety. The dummies that they had set up and the lights where they had them, where, you know, one was like kind of around a crate and you're like, oh crap, but it's like a dummy, and the lights that they use, it almost kind of benefited, as weird as it sounds, and I'm not trying to put anyone out of a job, but it kind of benefited from the minimalist aspect of it. They added a Jason, and he did a great job just being just a presence, just standing there and being a presence and kind of turning and looking at you. There's a couple of people that did a good job sort of just all of a sudden being there behind you. And, you know, you didn't see anything, you didn't hear anything, and then there's sort of the crunch of the stone. Someone's behind you. So they did a good job with that. And I got to give a shout out to the Michael Myers. I don't know if he wants me to say his name or anything like that, but I actually have already. But yeah, he did another great job at it. Changed it up a little bit from last year. Wasn't necessarily, wasn't in the same place, so the anticipation, if you had been here before, kind of kept going because it wasn't in the same place. But again, just the timing of it, the presence of it, the sort of attention to detail of the character from the films, really well done. I absolutely loved it. I think this might have been, this is the 4th year Forest of Screams has been open. This might be my 6th or 7th time being here, because I've been a couple times each of the other years. That might have been my favorite time through the woods. Like this time through the woods might have been my favorite part of all the 5 to 7 times I've been here. So far, that wood walk this time might have been my favorite part of it. Again, the atmosphere was great. The people in it was really good. It was varied, so it wasn't, sort of, I'm going to eat you, I'm going to cut you with a chainsaw sort of thing. They had, sort of classic movie characters. They had really good sets, really good design, really good timing. The people in it were, kind of, skilled professionals in what they were doing. So it was really well done. Yeah, so far my favorite part out of any times I've been here is just this forest walk. So the last part here, in the glare of the light, is the Mortuary. This is part 3. It's an actual sort of more, not traditional haunted house, and it's got some housey stuff in it, but traditional haunted house in that it's enclosed and you're going through a building. So that's what's cool about this place too. You kind of get a little of everything. Some places might have a hayride, and some places are mostly haunted house. You might get lucky to get like a metro park with a haunted forest. This has all of them, which is really neat. So I'm looking forward to this, and I'll see you on the other
Mortuary.
side. Held up. held up its sort of end. So yeah, they do a really, it was again, they updated this like they did the other two parts. Sort of compensated with some animatronic for some people. Big Dr. Satan animatronic thing, which is neat. Some of that, I haven't seen it, like that Nun movie, a couple of places where that were added. But yeah, it's a little cozy for me because there is a sort of house quality, because you're mortuary, like a funeral home kind of bit. But there's medical stuff in it too, and cool things. So yeah, with this, again, like the other two parts, they did a good job with being able to still provide a really good experience, even with having to make adjustments for everything that's going on in this apocalypse that we're living in now. All we need is winter to go on through spring and summer, and we're in Thimble winter and Ragnarok, and I'm still betting on the Wild Hunt in December. But anyway, besides that, my hat's sliding up my bald head and I can't see. But yeah, and then they got like these sort of creepy monk things with sort of featureless faces, and even with just a mannequin stuff and everything like that. Did a great job making it cool. Yeah, it does have like sort of haunted house, not just the general term for a building with which you go to in the Halloween season for spookums, but like when it's actual like a house thing. I do like that as well. So all three of the attractions here hit me in a lot of where I'm at. They check a lot of boxes for me, and this is, since they opened 4 years ago, this has always been something I've been looking forward to. Is definitely looking forward to it this year, and it did not. Can't. Hold on a second. Did not disappoint. Let me get a better shot than just corrugated stuff. Water's good. I like water. So yeah, did not disappoint. All three sections changed up a little bit. Familiar in a lot of places, but changed up in a little bit. Doing really well, compensating for just the physical setup that people have to do with all this stuff, and then the which would include personnel. They do a good job moving people through and everything else like that. So yeah, all three parts really well done. Changed up, a little bit different. Again, atmosphere was definitely taken into account in all three parts. It was really fun. Everyone was really good. What I like about this year too is it seemed like a couple more people. It was sort of balanced a little bit more in the kind of making a character and setting up a scene, as opposed to just like snarling in your ear or jump scares and screaming and sort of thing. So I hope that trend a jump scare here or there, kind of screaming at you here or there, is good, because you can't have all just soft-spoken sort of characters. You need kind of both. So I hope that trend of sort of mixing it up, having multiple different things kind of going on, and people doing with the characters and just really kind of getting a creepy feel. This place has been pretty good with it in the last couple years, and it seemed to go a little bit more in favor of that. And that might be the personnel thing, I'm not sure. But I hope that trend continues and then can spill over to other places too. Again, jump scares, snarling, stuff like that. It has its place and everything like that, and it's expected, and people like it, and I like it here or there. But you could have someone as Jason or Michael Myers still like growling at you or screaming, or you could have them basically played straight out of the movie like they did here, and the effect is exponentially better.
having someone kind of trapped in a cage screaming for help. You still got screaming, you still got loud noises and stuff, but it's a different feel than just having, I'm gonna cut you, or I'm gonna sew your balls, or whatever. So well done. All 3 parts really well done. Changed up. So if you've been here before, it's not the exact same thing as before. There's definitely some changes. Definitely some cool stuff going on. Really enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm going to get anything else here, but so in case I don't, thank you again to Rodney Geffert and Mr. Inc., Brad Cornell, here at Forest of Screams, and also kind of spilling over with 7 Floors of Hell. You guys are awesome and hooked me up, and I'm genuinely humbled and appreciate it, and I kind of keep going on about it because I'm also socially awkward. So I'm going to putter around a little bit, maybe talk to a couple people. But overall, really well done. All 3 parts. Enjoyed it. Again, that forest walk, I probably would lean to a more... And part of it is you're going through the forest. I'm walking through a forest, and that already is going to be extra points for me anyway, because if nothing else, I'm walking through the woods. And I generally and genuinely like that anyway, so that kind of has a good feel. And then there were so many parts in there that were so cool, so I really like that. And yeah, I think it does help a little bit to have permanent stuff. If you go to Haunted Schoolhouse and the Mortuary, like they got that stuff up all year, and then they can change it and add to it and subtract to it and have a lot of time to play with it and tinker and tweak when you have this sort of permanent stuff going on. Not saying anything bad against 7 Floors of Hell or anything, but I think it does kind of help to have that permanent thing. Man, I can't breathe. So sorry if my eyes look a little weird because the camera's on this side, but I'm also kind of looking at myself. So if I look at myself, it looks like I'm looking off to the distance. But I'm also trying to make sure I'm not like in people's way and stuff too. So, Forest of Screams, Medina, Ohio. 3 parts, the Haunted Hayride, the Nightmare Trail, and the Mortuary Haunted House. Really well done, enjoyed it. Changed up from previous years, did a really good job navigating the struggles of our times and making the best and most out of it. And I'm already looking forward to next year. I might try and make it out next week. They're actually going to be, it's listed open day after Halloween. So I've done that in past years where they've been open on like the 1st or something like that, or that weekend just after Halloween. And it's been kind of neat. It's sort of like when I've done it a couple years before, it was a sort of little send-off to the season. A last little hurrah, and I like that they kind of do that, give that opportunity. So I might do that again. Be next week, actually. So literally next week, because this is Sunday. Next Sunday would be the 1st. So I might try and hit that. Halloween itself might be a little much for me. This is other stuff I want to do. But that being said, in case I don't come back on this, I don't know if I will, but in case I don't, happy Halloween. Well done, Forest of Screams. Thank you again. I had a lot of fun. It was a really good time, and really well done as well. So, happy hunting. Happy haunting.